So what can you do when you realize there's an accident about to happen and you can do nothing to avoid being part of it? Well, your best bet is to try to limit the damage. My wife knows. She was driving down a snow-covered hill, snow was still falling, and she proceeded cautiously as she neared the bottom as there were cars ahead of her. She looked in the rearview mirror. Here's this car coming over the top of the hill that she had just driven over, but this one was coming at a pretty high rate of speed. He was not adapting to the weather at all. This was years ago, but man, we still remember it. That car slammed down the brake, and of course when he did that, he started to lose control. My wife knew that car was headed for her. It was out of control. She couldn't cross the line into the other lane. There were cars coming. There were cars ahead of her. What would she do? Speed up so she wouldn't be rear-ended? But then she'd lose control of her vehicle and run into the others. Well, she made the right choice. She pulled over, gripped the wheel so she wouldn't be out of control and hit others. And sure enough, the car behind her hit her, but she did not hit the others in front of her. She was smart enough to be the one who maintained control when others weren't. Well, I'm Ron Hutchcraft, and I want to have a word with you today about under control in an out of control world. Well, our word for today from the Word of God, 2 Timothy chapter 3, where the Apostle Paul says in verse 1, "Mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving and slanderous, and without self-control." And it continues. Then he turns to us as believers and to Timothy at that time and says, "But as for you, you continue in what you have learned and have become convinced of, because you know from whom you have learned it." Okay, hang on to the wheel when everybody else is out of control, he's saying. Don't let go of that wheel. Don't lose control. The world's losing control. It's ignoring the boundaries. They're driving fast on slippery pavement. Don't you speed up just because they are. You know, the world has always been, let's say, 10 miles distant from the church, because the world has always been farther from God than the church is. And the church is probably always going to be a little more moral, a little more, righteous. But as the world moves away from God, the church maintains that same distance. So very quickly, many Christians today are where the world was only a few years ago. You know what? It's time to grab the wheel and say, I'm not moving any further. Now, maybe you'll take some hits, like my wife did. But you've got to say, I won't be responsible for causing any damage myself. Other believers may say divorce is no big deal. It's an answer. But you say it's not an option for me, for us. Others may treat the truth lightly. I'm going to work harder than ever to hold the wheel and tell the truth. Others may devalue sex and love by playing with sex and flirting with technical virginity. But my eyes are on Jesus and the purity he represents. Maybe others are building a material kingdom here on earth, but I'm not going to be trapped in that rat race. I want to set a level in my life of what I need and give the rest away. You can count on it. The world's going to keep speeding away from God's standards. But Ephesians 6:13 is still in the book. Here we go. Put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. Yeah. So hold on. Maintain control. Because of your allegiance to Christ's standards, you will be the one who is under control in an out-of-control world.